Hello?
What's up, girl? What happened after Tony dumped you?
Girl, I'm over it. I went from heartbreak to hate.
Oi, Joy.
Hi, Bob. I think that might be my new thing.
Edwards episode of Heartbreak to Hate.
I have to perfect mine.
Sponsored by Alyssa Edwards.
In Mesquite, Texas.
In Mesquite, Texas. She
loves to say that.
Yeah, Mesquite.
Every single time. Well, listen, we're going to start off by apologizing to Canada.
And I'm apparently the person doing so.
I mean, you are. And allow me to explain. Because I just said, why, Canada? Why don't you love us? But Bob had stronger words. And now he would like to reflect.
So, Canada, I said, fuck Canada.
Uh-huh.
Fuck you, Canada. Fuck everything about you, Canada. I didn't say that, I don't think. But
no, I don't think you went that far. But nonetheless.
Canada.
When we recorded
the episode,
we didn't have any listens.
We had no listens at all from Canada.
But then before we could air the Canada episode where we talk about Canada, Canada showed up. So our bad.
Sorry, thank you for your continued weekly
Hugs
listen
and kisses,
now, Canada.
Love, Joy, and Bob.
And hopefully I can get more Canada listeners. Wink, wink. Click, click. And yes. Anybody out in Toronto? Hello.
Wherever. Anybody in Quebec? Vancouver? Give me all the places.
Manitoba?
Yeah. Hold on.
We really should have pulled up all the things.
We really should have.
Provinces, at least.
Listen. Our Canadian brothers and sisters know that Americans are the fucking worst at geography. So, our apologies in advance. We know. We're aware.
We're aware. Because can we, geographically, Toronto.
See.
Closer to Detroit, right? Is that the one's close to Detroit, or is that the one close to New York?
That's Windsor, is like right across.
Okay.
The bridge there.
The bridge, okay.
But I would say, I don't know that Toronto's that far. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Pull up a map.
See, I think Toronto is.
But I know Windsor for sure.
For those that don't know, we're not in the middle of the United States, but we're almost there, right?
We feel that way.
Hey, Canada, I think you need to talk to your person doing your marketing for your country, because Canada Goose comes up on the first thing, and it should just be the country, right?
You would like to think. They probably paid a lot of money to get boosted all the way to the top.
Okay, this is getting complicated.
Okay, we'll come back to you. We'll put a pin in it. We'll come back while he takes a while to find the map.
So, apologies to Canada again for me fucking it up this time. There we go. There's the Canada. There's the Canada. So.
But essentially, our heart was in the right place because we just wanted you to love us, and that's all.
Yeah, and now that you love us, we love you back. So it was like one of those things. It's one of those weird relationships where you're in love with somebody and they don't like you.
Right.
And then you're fucking done. I'm done with this shit. Why won't they love me? So fuck them, fuck Canada. And then Canada loves you. And you're like, oh wait.
Oh, forget everything.
But I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I still love you.
Totally joking.
Okay. So I'm still waiting on you, West Virginia.
Oh, that's right. You know what's going to happen before this airs? There's going to be one West Virginia listen.
Somebody in West Virginia is going to get running water to their log cabin, and it's going to hit the rocks fast enough to create the internet for
another apology tour upcoming. So look forward to...
I told somebody just yesterday that they need to recognize that West Virginia is still part of the East Coast, because the East Coast... They have a way about them. They feel they're special because they're the first, and rightfully so, And there's a lot of good stuff going on the East Coast. There's a lot of pretty things, and they just need to realize that West Virginia is still the East Coast.
Yeah, it is.
Ish.
Well, moving along.
Yeah.
This is a random episode.
It's a random episode, so it's a good thing.
Random.
Truly random.
Because we
5 minutes of talking about Canada.
We haven't even discussed amongst ourselves.
No.
What the fuck we're going to talk about. So spring it on me, Bob.
Well, So, this is also the ASMR episode, so we're going to be doing some long sounds into the microphone. Turn us up as loud as you can. And then I'm going to yell. No. So, Joy, there's this old, ancient proverb from one of the Bibles. Whoever wrote it, and whoever's version of Jesus there is, because there's all the books of the dudes. Mm-hmm. All the books of the dudettes have been trashed, but the books of the dudes still exist in the Bible.
Okay.
You know the Catholic Church hid the books of the women?
Yes, I did know about that.
Okay, so in one of those books,
okay,
it's this proverb, and I'm not paraphrasing it. I'm actually quoting it. If you are fucking around with somebody who's in a relationship...
See, I knew, this is why I laughed earlier, because I knew it was going to be some bullshit.
And then you get in a relationship with that person after they leave that relationship. Uh-huh. Still with me?
I'm with you.
Can you ever trust that person?
No.
We had this discussion this morning, like at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
A few friends of mine.
No.
So, no. How do you feel?
I don't feel that you can. I don't think you can trust any cheater to...
Even if they were with you, were the utensil for which they cheated with.
Especially if you were the
spatula that flipped them out of their relationship onto your plate.
Especially then just enjoy your time with them and know that your time's coming to an end, because there's going to be another spatula that will come along, even
maybe
shinier.
even silicone based.
Watch out, fancy.
Won't melt on the skillet.
Not at all. It might have all the ergonomic grips and shit.
If a spatula company would like to sponsor our podcast, please give us a call.
Yes. No.
So the actual proverb from Black Southern women is, you lose them how you get them.
Oh, okay. Yes, I have heard that.
So that's the old saying, the old hoe saying.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's like, girl, you lose them how you get them.
How you get them, exactly. And I mean, I don't know why it's shocking to people when that happens. When it's like,
but I loved him. Why would he cheat on me?
Well, because
that's how you got him.
I know, he cheated on the first woman.
Yeah.
And you knew about it.
It's cute. It's cute.
It's cute except for it's not cute. Because that's I have a special place in my heart for people who end up with somebody who's already in a relationship and they don't know about it. So you're like an accidental cheater. You know what I mean? Like you think, let's use it from a straight woman's perspective.
Right.
Okay.
You're Amish.
You're fucking, no, I'm just saying you're fucking some dude. And at first you don't know that he has a woman. Okay. Because you're trying to believe. And some of them are really good fucking liars. Right. Okay?
Right. Because you can find out someone has 18 kids. Right. 3 years into a relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're trying to live in a trustful world and everything. And then, slowly signs start to come about, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, do you have somebody? I'm gonna have to choke the shit out of you. Maybe that I digress, but nonetheless, I don't feel like there's fault in that.
Right.
As long as you don't keep it going. But if you're like, oh, you got a woman? Well, that's okay, because I'm free on Tuesdays and Thursdays. No.
Their relationship ain't my business. Mm-hmm. What they do in their relationship.
It was already dead before I came along, false bitch.
Right,
otherwise, it would have been ended.
Right.
That's me.
But some people are really great at compartmentalizing every aspect of their life.
I guess.
So they can be like, this is my life with Tammy. This is my life with Linda. This is my life with Judy. And Judy, Tammy, Linda never know about each other. Mm-hmm. But I've been steady fucking all three of them for 18 years now.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens.
I know it does.
I had my family, my grandpa had a secret family. Mm-hmm. I mean, actually, I'm part of the secret family. Well, yeah. There was a family before my mom's family, and nobody knew about it until he died when he was in his 70s.
See, it's true. Some of them are really good at it, and you don't know. It's not because people are quick to blame. Mm-hmm. Usually what happens is it's a woman who gets blamed for it. Or we could blame the orchestrator. I feel like the person who orchestrates it is the most guilty.
So that's the truth, though, right? Whatever, woman. You blame the other woman. Mm-hmm. It's her fault.
Always, for some reason.
Like, and I've actually, and I'm holding into the microphone like you're a small child, and I'm trying to get the words that I'm saying into your brain to change your life forever. Mm-hmm. I've actually heard women say, well, he's a man, so that's what he's going to do. But she should have known better. No. She should have known that, she should have known that he had a relationship in Champaign, Illinois when she lived in New York City. Mm-mm. Like, it's that crazy shit. Like, blame the other person. No,
shaking my head.
And that motherfucker's going to keep doing it. And we've gone from losing a motherfucker because you cheated on with him, blah, 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 to now men just fucking cheat and
you think that that's just okay.
And you're okay with that because that's something that a man should do, which is toxic. It's toxicity, masculine toxicity, all that shit. And that's just things that women say to themselves.
I don't buy into that. There's no, you should.
There's other dick.
There's so many others.
And if he's out fucking somebody else and you're not regularly getting tested for sexually transmitted diseases or whatever's, then you could have something you don't even know. Because a lot of those, like gonorrhea and other sexually transmitted, some of the people carry it and never know they have it because the signs aren't there.
Yeah.
So.
And cheaters aren't all like, oh, let me be courteous enough to always use condoms with my side piece. No, they're not.
So here's the deal. So if someone cheats on you, immediately go live through the process of having those panels of tests done on you to see if you have a sexually transmitted disease, HIV, whatever. Live through that. Mm-hmm. And then think about him the whole time. If that's okay, that's what men do.
Right.
And then hope that you don't have something. Because if you do and you stick with him.
I've been stomped him into the ground. So.
Right. Okay, so enough about me.
So, my topic, which it's going to seem related, but it's not.
Semen?
It relates to semen.
Yes!
Did you know that you can buy fake hymens? Like, do I have to explain what a hymen is?
No, but I just had something I was going to talk to you about.
Because like your whole face was like frozen in time.
No, it's even better. Keep going. Okay.
Now, I've seen things where when somebody brought this topic to me, I was like, get the fuck out. And then it makes sense on the one hand, because there are certain places in the world where if your hymen is not intact when you go to have sex with your husband the very first time you're married, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing.
Bicycles be damned.
You are, exactly. Because there's all kinds of reasons why
it could happen. Non-sexual.
That's a whole thing.
Yes.
Go look that up, kids. If you don't know, we don't have time to explain.
Gymnastics. There's all kinds of reasons why those happen.
And even if you do, not everybody's going to believe all of the things.
Right.
Doesn't matter. People are crazy. So there's parts of the world in which if you don't have a hymen and you get married and you have sex, you are, your life is at risk.
Yeah.
So it makes sense for those people. But on the other hand, that I saw things like people down, having criticism against it because assuming women are just out there wanting to pretend like it's their first time every time. And that's probably happening, but I feel like the reason they really exist is for the safety of some women.
Yeah.
It's assuming they can get their hands on this thing.
Right.
So what are your thoughts about fake hymens and needing them?
Well, first of all, I want to say that it's very smart for a woman to pretend that she's a virgin because guys want that. So even if the lie is there, tell the lie. Even if you slept with 10 different guys, just tell them you're a virgin. You'll get money. Anyway,
see, you just take it and twist it. I wasn't even talking about that.
That's a side note. This is steps to the side. Stepping back into the electric slide that is your life. Mm-hmm. I feel that while you said it exactly, like the people who need it to protect themselves, they probably don't have access to it.
Yeah.
The way that people who would use it for malicious purposes would. And I don't even feel it's malicious. I don't know. So,
okay.
Scientifically speaking, how does this fake hymen work?
So apparently, supposedly,
Is it like the
you can insert it. It's like 15 minutes beforehand, and it kind of makes you. I imagine it kind of like a special effects squib, right? Like something about it can make it feel tighter, probably because you've got this extra piece inserted into you, and also, when it gets penetrated, then it releases this fake blood. And your face is like, why, dear God?
No, it's not why I get. No.
But I have to go back to the whole thing of, like, the first time I had sex. All right, I rewind
2 weeks
in time.
ago.
Exactly. Clearly, kids, because I am the picture of innocence.
I mean, the date was 2 weeks ago, 35 years ago. So.
Go fuck yourself. No, but like there was a little bit of blood, but I mean it wasn't even period worthy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think people imagine like heaps of blood, and that most of the time is not the case.
But here's the here's the kicker. Here's the twist at the end of Us. I'm going to tell you the ending.
Okay, I'm ready.
Nobody wants to fuck a woman on her period. So why do you want to fuck a woman when she like?
Yeah.
What's the what?
That's true.
What's the what with that? Like, seriously, men don't want to fuck a woman on when they're on their period,
They really
but
don't.
they want to pop the cherry and have that blood the first time. That
Because-
mucousy, very thin blood that could.
Yeah.
It's basically snot. It's like when you blow your nose so much and you're at the end of a cold, and it has just that little bit of blood in it because you've rubbed your nose raw, and it's just this little bit of mucus, a little bit of blood. That's where that's. Not that I'm out here popping cherries
I was gonna say,
investigating.
thank you for giving people that visual. If you could,
It's just a snot bubble in her vagina. Get over it.
Okay, I think that's all we have to say about that.
So, snot bubbles aside, you brought up the greatest thing ever that I saw recently that I did not know exists, which I don't know how I didn't know that it exists, because I usually know anything that's in the perverse world. Dildos that ejaculate.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Have you seen them before?
I'm not in person.
Oh, okay.
No.
Here, I got one over here.
Ah.
Pull it out of my trunk. No. I find those interesting.
Yeah, I don't know what the appeal would be to, I assume, the female. Like, I assume, like, the demographic.
I'm going to stop you now. The demographic is not female whatsoever.
I was going to say, could it be? Because
No. The demographic is gay cum whores. So that's the demographic. So let's just put that out there.
Okay.
But she could be a woman and be a cum whore as well.
You could be.
Mm-hmm.
You could be. I think that most of the time is the lie, right? Because all the porns pretend like, you know, even the cheap, you know, free internet porn is all like, oh yeah, come on my face. All that. Bitches don't want all that. We're not into it.
No. I mean, you come with this handy dandy suitcase to just lock it away and walk away from it. So
try and step inside the mind of a gay cum whore, as you call it. I'm going to assume that you're not one, but explain to me. Oh, I could be wrong.
She learns new things every day.
Oh, shit.
No.
Explain to me why. I'll just leave it open-ended with why.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I find it interesting. I also find it interesting because it's actually a lube.
Okay.
That comes out, so that keeps the penetration going.
Okay.
But so I understand like the mechanical things behind it. Like somebody probably said we need a self-lubing dildo, which is brilliant because then you don't have to stop when the dryness starts again.
Yeah.
You can it keeps it going. So that is
That
smart.
piece I get. Yes, absolutely.
But what I don't get is people who like want it just to shoot in their face.
Yeah, I hope not.
Because I don't know if you've ever had lube in your mouth.
No, thank God. It sounds horrible.
I mean, it's not like the worst taste. It's not like peanut butter, but it is.
Somebody's working on peanut butter lube right now.
I'm sure peanut butter lube exists. Although, is it crunchy or is it creamy? I don't know. Is it Jif? Choosy moms choose creamy
lube. Ew.
Okay, so yeah, if some fake cum lube pumping dildo company wants to sponsor our podcast. We should just call this Outcry for Sponsorship.
Basically, maybe rename the whole podcast.
So you don't like cum because of the texture and the weirdness on your teeth, right?
I don't. Yeah. I'm not here for it. I don't want to live that life. The way that it comes out weirdly warm and just and it's like a taste that stays with you.
Why do you think it's weirdly warm? The body is 98.6 degrees.
I know.
You're like sweating up a storm. You're exceeding your body heat.
I don't know why. I just know that the 2 times, because I've been an expert at avoiding it ever since. The 2 times that it happened, I was like, oh, wasn't expecting that. I don't know why. It was just a shock to the mind. And then it was like, it just felt like it gets stuck in your teeth. It's a taste that stays with you. It's horrible. Listen, you wanted to know. I'm willing to tell you. I don't give a shit.
No, it's just to get stuck in your teeth part. It's like,
I know, it's horrible.
You don't even toothpick, though.
God. It's just, listen. So I became an expert at avoiding that whole part of the process. Holler if you hear me.
So do you feel that people are truthful when they say they're going to come?
No.
Do you think men really want you to either take their gift, their birth gift, any way that you can, but they don't want to release it inside your body?
They absolutely want to release it inside of your body. So if they feel like they can't come in your mouth, then they'll settle for coming in your pussy. You know what I mean? Like that's...
Or your asshole.
Well, now. Some stereotypes are true. You know what? I hear that things are changing and that some black women are saying yes. But in the past, we have held strong. And we have had a united front that we do not do it in the butt. So...
But doing the butt, the song,
doing the butt is different than doing the butt
is different than the butt.
Doing it in the butt,
yes.
no.
Yes. Oh, it's all these lessons you learn in life, children. I really hope that this is being used in a preschool setting as lessons to teach people early on in life.
We are educational. Really.
Educational. I think we should change it from lifestyle.
To educational.
To educational. Maybe we'll get more hits on our listening. Maybe Canada would have joined us earlier if they would have thought we were educational.
Educational. Like, this is smart Americans.
Yeah. Well, they're not just that fucking horrible. We are that fucking horrible. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was...
Don't you feel like, that men lie? That they'll fully... Because if they think they can kind of like cheat and pretend like they're not coming yet... Just to win? Well,
there's ways that you can tell when it's going to actually happen.
Yeah.
And it comes from experience that you can tell. When you have a penis in your hand, it's like the flexing of the muscle that runs underneath that you can tell it's about to happen.
Wow. You've done research.
When you hone that skill and being able to feel it on your tongue, you know when that's going to happen.
Okay.
And whether they're telling you the truth or not.
Gotcha.
So, life lessons from a virgin.
Okay. Not going to question that.
I'm not a whore. I just know science. Can that be our t-shirts, please? I'm not a whore. I just know science. Oh. God, if I didn't have myself, I would never laugh.
Okay. Again, with the moments where we need cameras. I just did like the deepest eye roll. My head followed my eyes. I just came outside of my body for a second. And now I'm back.
And you're back. Do you have something for me after pumping cum dildos?
Yeah, I think I'd like to change gears slightly and talk about...
Is it a 10-speed or a 6-speed?
I don't
12
know.
speed. I have lots of speeds.
I don't know what speed it is. It's an underage speed.
Ooh. Okay.
So maybe slightly controversial,
Me
but
walking out the door, closing the door behind me.
Well, no. So I keep hearing more and more about young kids whose parents are allowing them to do drag.
Okay.
And it's not the young kids doing drag that's the problem. It's letting young kids do drag in a club, like in a nightclub, late at night, like way after hours, and where kids are able to see things that at like 10, 11, hell, sometimes even at 18, you shouldn't see some of the shit that they're able to see, like drug use, you know, hard liquor, you're around all this stuff.
Blowjobs in bathrooms.
Right. So I just feel like absolutely you should be able to support your kids. If you're a parent, listen, I really do feel like parents should be able to make their own choices for their kids. Nightclub life and things, though, like that's where it gets interesting for me because, you know, we don't even want 15, 16-year-olds around it, and you're letting 9, 10, 11? You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's that cultural shift, right? People are really accepting drag, which is amazing, and, you know, starting to be more accepting of the queer culture, except for West Virginia. But but it's also a legal.
Hey, hello.
And it's weird, and I'm gonna take us into a darker section. But
okay.
So if a bar does not serve food in any way, shape, or form, that bar is generally a 21 and over bar.
Generally, yes.
Or if it has the exception of 19 or whatever it is. But that's truth. That's 100%.
Absolutely.
Like a 6-month-old baby, not allowed in.
Nope.
So the legality of having your children, whether they're chaperone or not, they're still not, like that place could be closed down. So while you support and everyone thinks it's funny and kikis and laughs that, you know, it's great that this kid and these wonderful parents support this, you're also risking an establishment being closed down for having underage children in it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't feel that children are as impressionable as people think they are, because, you know, my thought on how you're born the way you are and you're destined to be whatever you're going to do. So that's my thought. So I feel that kids who see things won't necessarily do them just because they see them. But at the same time, kids are stupid and kids just want to do what their idols do. So if I'm at a drag show, I'm an 11-year-old kid, my favorite drag queen of all time is Nefertiti Tits. I'm just making it's a great drag name. Nefertiti Tits. Someone use that, please. So, and I'm there kikiing with Nefertiti Tits, and then she just stops to take a bump. Bump being cocaine. I'm gonna think that's what it takes to be Nefertiti Tits.
Yeah. The other piece being that kids process things differently than adults, right? The whole thing that things stick with kids in a different way.
Yeah.
Kids don't really process sarcasm, you know, all the things that adults are kind of used to, like the layers and the nuance that we understand, kids don't necessarily understand. So even if you're standing with a parent while all this is happening, doesn't mean that their little mind is processing things the same way that the parent is seeing it. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's one of the biggest issues, because I look back at my own childhood and things I process. When I go back, I go, oh, a parent was probably joking, or somebody was probably meaning this. That's not the way my mind took it.
But that's, and see, a lot, like, and you're saying it not necessarily meaning that it's a bad thing that kids are that way, but
No.
I think children's minds are better than adult minds because their minds are set in black and white truths. Like, while they can't get the nuances of things like that, they tend to live in the truth more often. Like, they don't say things to be mean a lot of times. They just say things because they don't understand, and that this, like, you know, what, I can't give you an example, but
Yeah, they don't understand the societal rules of not necessarily telling the 100% truth, and so on. Yeah.
And so on. And so into the darkness, I want to dig deeper and say this. When this bar would be closed because of an 11-year-old being there in drag, the outcry and the anger would not be that these parents had this child in the bar and it was da-da-da-da, it would be that the police were targeting a gay bar.
Yeah, that's true. And
I say that with complete understanding that a lot of police activities are shit and nasty. But, and I'm gonna put Mr. Smollett on the line here. If you did something illegal, it's still illegal.
Yeah.
Whether or not somebody of a different race, whatever, is treated differently, let's not skip by the fact that that's illegal. And I think people want to compare and contrast, well, this person was treated differently because of that. That's true, and that's horrible, and that's wrong. 100%. But it was still fucking illegal.
Right. And
people tend to gloss over that and the social activism of things.
Right, and that's what it would be. And that's why I'm saying, like, I think, you know, if young kids, if their parents are okay with them doing drag, go for it. But there are safe spaces to do drag.
Yeah.
Teen
spaces.
Yeah, there are teen spaces. There are even, you know, college spaces that are safe that don't involve, you know, the drug and alcohol aspect. So.
And we're not saying all drag queens do drugs.
No, we're not. Not at all. Not the point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think that you have to consider safety.
And remember that to be beautiful and natural is the birthright of every woman. And I wish you all loads and loads of loveliness and good luck.